Told your son this when he became, I guess, the head of president of this racetrack, that although he was a great accountant, there were times when he needed to remember to put down the pen. And John Force talked about him telling that story. What was important about putting down the pen?
You have to have feeling, you have to have emotion, you have to have passion. You have to recognize that the business we're in, and it is a business, it's also a love. But what we are in is making people forget their problems, their sorrows, and their woes, and enjoying each other, enjoying their family, enjoying their spouses and their loved ones. You can use a pencil to stay in business. You have to use it to be sure that the income and expense makes sense. But you can't do it in creating the experience for your fan. You've got to look at that fan and realize that he has choices. He can stay home, he can go camping, fishing, boating, he can do yard work, he can spend time with his family having a picnic in the backyard. In order for them to come here, we have to create a feeling of, we want them here, we welcome them here, and while they're here, they can be treated as guests. They come in through the door and they pay a fee. Many of them, thousands of them, we get to know, and they become friends. And many of them, we become part of the family. I have been to weddings, I have been to graduations, I have been to funerals, and I think I've been asked to speak at 4 funerals, deliver a eulogy, probably 4 in the last 2 years or 3 years, because now we're getting older and our friends are getting older. These are all people that raced here or were fans here that came in through the gate year after year after year. So clearly it's a people business, but it is not about the pen. You can't use a pen to orchestrate that feeling or emotion. You have to do it with your heart.
Now, take that just a little bit further, if you will, because what John Force told me he learned is that meant to him, don't worry about the pen as much as you worry about your daughters, your wife, your grandchildren.
Well, the 3 things I preach are faith, family, and finance. In that order. We get it so mixed up. And we start working on putting a roof over their head, food on the table, clothes on their back. And we forget about our faith. That kind of drops to the bottom, but family still stays second, not first, and not ahead of finance. And that needs to be, I'm a strong cradle Catholic. Our faith has got to be first, but our family, as we get older in life, it's our children, it's our spouse, our friend, it's the relationships we've built with that family that make the difference in really in what kind of people we are. So it's not about the pencil. It's not about the economics of it. It's really about our family. And our family is with us forever. Our faith is with us for eternity. And our finance is just a means to help pay those bills or provide for them. But our heart is with our family. We don't need 2 cars, and we don't need 2 television sets and 2 iPads and a boathouse or a boat or an airplane. What happened? What's wrong with 8 children or 9 children and a family of love around a table? Little House on the Prairie. It's a perfect example of that. Focusing on things. Things are from earth, not from above. What's from above isn't from earth. And our faith and our family Force came up in the tower a couple years ago and said, you forgot fun. Where does fun fit into that? Because I preached that on the PA system. I would have tonight. You'd have heard that tonight before we started the national anthem. And Jim Head came running up, John Force came running up, and said, what about fun? What about fun? And I said, you can be just like John Force. You can be just like Bob Moose. You can be just like Jim Head. But you got to stay in school. You got to say no to drugs. You got to say no to alcohol. And remember, who loves you more than anybody else right now is your mom and your dad, those people that brought you here. So I tell the parents to sit back. This isn't about them. This is for the youngsters. And then I talk about without the blessing of the good Lord above, none of this would be possible. Let's not confuse that issue. And when John Force and Jim Head asked me about fun, I said, you don't have to think about that, because certainly we have fun. Faith should be fun and enjoyable. Your family should be fun and enjoyable. And I wouldn't want to be in a job that wasn't fun and enjoyable. So I think fun's a sidebar. It affects all 3. Faith, family, and finance, and fun fits in all 3 areas.
Okay. Well, John Force said that your son's words, telling him that story, let him know that he needs to go back tomorrow and take his family in his arms and remind them that they are the world to him and that he loves them.
Amen.